or the male reproductive organs. So where the same picture like this, right? The second picture showing the penis, the two testes, okay, and then two vas deferens, the urinary bladder. Post that you have these seminal vesicles, and then seminal vesicle and vas deferens are joining, then ending in this is what is the prostate with this the prostatic gland, okay. So which continues down. I mean, what is that? Through that you have the prostatic urethra, in which you have the opening of the what is that? The ejaculatory ducts after its formation from union of the vas deferens with the duct of the seminal vesicle. Clear? Penis, the two testes, okay. Then you have the vas deferens, the prostatic gland, the seminal vesicles, which are the accessory glands.
What's the difference?
Eh? Epididymis is this one, which is there inside this testis, within the scrotum. Epididymis. It forms part of this spermatic cord is the vas deferens of the testis.
Epididymis is apparently positive side.
Epididymis will be this one. See here, I will show you later. See, this is what is the epididymis. This is what is the epididymis, which is within the scrotum. Which is within the scrotum. Okay. So this is what is the epididymis, which is there in the. I will come to go. We'll go to the table again. So just here, briefing it. Okay. These are the male reproductive organs. So we divide them into the external genital organs and then the internal genital organs. External were the penis and then the scrotum. Scrotum is not here because it is cut to show the internal genital organs. So only with the external genital, what you see here is the penis. Okay, the scrotum is not here. So you can see the scrotum here. So this is what is the scrotum. This one. Okay, here the scrotum is taken out to show the testis inside. Okay, this is the scrotum. So within inside this, it's a bag-like, right? See here, it's a bag-like, sac-like. So in which you have this testis. So outer sac is taken out here in this side to show the testis. Okay, so this is what is the spermatic cord. Okay.
The spermatic cord contains the vas deferens.
Vas deferens, all others like testicular artery, veins, testicular nerves, all those things. The same. These are the reproductive organs which are producing, storing, and releasing the male gametes into the female genital tract. So external genitals are penis and then scrotum, internal are testis, epididymis, vas deferens, and the accessory glands include seminal vesicles, prostate gland, and the bulbourethral glands. So now the penis, as I said, it's a pendulous organ embedded from the suspended from the front and sides of the pubic bone. So you already know the pubic arch and the. Is there any plastic model? Attached to this pubic bones. So this forms the root of the penis.
You can't see it.
Which is attached to the pubic bones. So this part, that forms the root which is attached to the pubic bones or the pubic arch. Pubic arch is like this. Two cruras will go and attach to the pubic arch, and center will be the bulb. Okay. Attach this. What happened? Genital organ which helps in releasing the sperms or the male gametes into the female genital tract during the coitus. Okay, so it consists of three parts, as I said. The root. So this is the root. Okay, this is the root, and this is the shaft, and this is the glans. So glans, penis, shaft, and then the root. So if you see this closely, observe this. So you can make out three, right? See here. This is the right crura. This is the left crura. I said two cruras. So which are continuous with the proximal, the dorsal side. So these are the one right corpus cavernosa and the left corpus cavernosa. Whereas center, see this dilated part, this forms the bulb of the penis, which is down continuous on the ventral side as the corpus spongiosum and continuous with the glans penis. Okay, so two cruras, the right and then the left, continuous with the corpora cavernosa of the shaft, and the bulb of the penis continuous with the corpus spongiosum of the shaft. Okay,
What is the
corpus spongiosum, which contains the urethra.
corpora cavernosa?
Yeah?
Corpora cavernosa.
This is the right crura continuous with the corpora cavernosa. Left crura continuous with the left corpora cavernosa.
Doctor, is it muscular tissue or?
See here. These are the cruras, I said. The same continuation of the corpora cavernosa which is attached to the bone. Okay? The center is the bulb of the penis, which contains the urethra, which is continuous with the corpus spongiosum. See here, these are two separate. See here, there is a line here.
Yes.
Okay? The right and the left.
Yeah.
And this is the corpus spongiosum on the ventral side. Okay? So then you have the other parts like, as I explained, the glans penis consists of the corona. What is that corona? So this is what is the corona. See here, the margins of the glans penis. This forms the corona. Okay? The rim. And then here the foreskin is retracted or it is cut here. Foreskin is not there, exposing the glans. The skin which covers the glans is called as the foreskin, which is not here. Okay? And then the frenulum which connects the glans with the shaft. So this what? This is what is the frenulum. Okay? So that is the parts of the penis having the shaft, root and the glans, and the other like the foreskin, the corona and then the frenulum. So the same what I explained till now, the same corpora cavernosa continuous proximally with the cruras, and then corpus spongiosum continuous proximally with the bulb of the penis. So the same thing. So then blood supply, they are supplied by the testicular arteries, both right and left, which are branches of the abdominal aorta. Abdominal aorta. Can you see it here? See this. The right as well as the left testicular artery entering into the inguinal canal. Okay?
Again,
The venous?
Yeah?
The venous?
Artery, testicular arteries.
Blood supply of the venous?
Sorry, I jumped into testis, sorry. So the penis is supplied by the arteries like the deep artery of the penis, the dorsal artery of the penis, and then the artery of the bulb of the penis. These are the three arteries which supply the penis. Sorry, I was talking to you about these testicular arteries which are supplying the testis, not the penis. Okay? So the blood supply for the penis is by the deep artery, the dorsal artery, and then the artery of the bulb of the penis. Okay? And the venous drainage, the same into the pudendal vessel, inferior pudendal veins. These branches, what I explained, those arteries are again branches from the internal pudendal artery. Okay? Yes. And the lymphatic drainage is important here. So, especially very important when as this is the copulatory organ. So, any sexually transmitted disease will have passed through this penis. So, whenever the penis is involved in this sexually transmitted disease like gonorrhea and then the syphilis, so these lymph nodes they get enlarged. So, usually the superficial part, much of it which is infected in sexually transmitted disease, they drains into the medial group of the superficial inguinal lymph nodes. Okay, whereas deep structures they go to the internal iliac lymph nodes. So whenever you have the inguinal lymph node enlargement, you suspect of the infection or disease affecting the penis. So whereas the sensory nerve supply, the other, the autonomic nerves will be responsible for the erection of the penis. Okay, whereas the nerves of sensation and all is supplied by the pudendal nerve. And now is the scrotum. So as I explained, so the scrotum represents the labia majora of the female, whereas the penis represents the clitoris. The clitoris of the females is the The resembling organ in case of males is, that is the penis. So two labia majoris, they do not fuse in the females, okay?
Yeah.
Whereas in case of males, these two labioscrotal swellings, they fuse together. That fusion is represented by this raphe, okay, which divides the scrotum into two cavities where you have the two testes located, okay? So this raphe is continuous on the ventral surface of the penis, anteriorly and posteriorly with the anus, okay, in the perineum.
So
the
these
scrotum-
are mainly labia majora.
Yeah, in case of females. So sometimes even they have genital anomalies, like what you say, transgenders, you know, transgenders.
Yeah.
So usually sometimes even though they have male, so these labias, these scrotal swellings will not be fused. So they will be either males or females. Sometimes there will be underdevelopment of these external genital organs, okay. So such people we call as transgenders. So now this scrotum is made up of, as I said, 7 layers, right from skin. So first the skin, then you have the membranous layer of superficial fascia. Below that, the fatty layer is replaced by a muscle called as the dartus muscle. What is that muscle? The dartus, because of which you have the multiple wrinkles on the scrotum. This muscle is very important in maintaining the temperature of the testis without the scrotum. Okay, either raising the scrotum or sagging down the scrotum, especially when there are temperature differences outside. Next layer is the external spermatic fascia, and then you have the cremasteric fascia, and then you have the internal spermatic fascia. And deep layer, which is same as the peritoneum, the anterior abdominal wall, it is the tunica vaginalis. Okay, which even covers your testis also. Okay, so these are the 7 layers which form the scrotum. Okay, so now this scrotum is supplied by the same scrotal vessels and all. So deep within the scrotal sac you have the testis located. So testis, or before that you have the spinal cord, spermatic cord. I don't know. The spermatic cord, so which connects, you can see it here in this very clearly. This is the testis, okay. Okay. So this is the superficial inguinal ring. Can you follow? So which is the pelvic cavity, and then the abdomen begins. Okay. So this is the superficial inguinal ring. So this is what is the inguinal canal. Okay. So from here, this is the testis. The structures which are from the abdomen to the testis, or from the testis to the abdomen. So that forms the scrotum. If you feel this, your own scrotum, the upper part above the testis, you will feel a cord-like structure. That is what is the spermatic cord. Spermatic cord, which contains the structures to and from the testis. So like, what are the contents of the spermatic cord? Very important. The vas deferens of the ductus deferens, the testicular artery, you can make that. So the pampiniform plexus here, the blue plexus, the pampiniform plexus of veins, the vas deferens. This is what is the cremasteric muscle. This red lines. Okay, that represents the cremasteric muscle, very important. Here the dartus muscle is replaced by the cremasteric muscle, which is the continuation of the internal oblique muscle of the abdominal wall, anterior abdominal wall. So the contents are very important. The ductus deferens, testicular artery, testicular vein in the form of plexus, what we call it as pampiniform plexus of veins, testicular nerve and lymph vessels. Okay.
So the inguinal canal is found behind the inguinal ligament.
You will learn it when you go to, I think you have not learned in your first year musculoskeletal system.
There is the inguinal ligament, behind it comes the inguinal canal, right?
Yeah. Inguinal ligament is from this point of pubic bone.
Yeah.
Superior iliac spinatus. I am talking about the wall, not the ligament. Anterior abdominal wall, lower side. If you observe this as the wall, here you have the internal iliac, that is the opening or the deep inguinal ring, and outside you have the external inguinal ring or the superficial inguinal ring. The structures from the abdominal cavity, they enter through the deep ring, pass through the inguinal canal and come out of the superficial ring. S-shaped canal. Okay. Inguinal region, as they are situated here, they are called as inguinal canal. Okay. So they pass through the deep, pass through the canal and then come out through the superficial and then go to testis like this. Okay. So this is what is the superficial ring, and this is what is the deep ring. See here, this is what is the inguinal canal. See here, this is the inguinal canal. This is the superficial inguinal ring, and this is the deep ring. So deep going, inguinal canal passing, and then coming out through the superficial. So you can make it here. See, so this is the deep ring, and this is the superficial ring. This is the vast difference. See here. Okay, from here it is running upwards through the superficial inguinal ring, inguinal canal, deep ring, and then it goes to the pelvic cavity. Okay. So that is the spermatic cord. The next, the testis. The testis are the pair, main important, that is your main genital organs, where there is production of the sperms. Production of the sperm situated in both the sacs of the scrotum, the right and left testis. As I said, it is covered by the tunica vaginalis, which is the peritoneal covering which it receives when it is descending through the inguinal canal. And then inside the tunica vaginalis, what you have is the fibrous stroma, that is called the tunica albuginea, which sends septas into the substance of the testis, dividing it into different lobules. Each lobule consists of 1 to 3 seminiferous tubules. Okay, then they club together to form what we call the rete testis towards the posterior and upper pole, and then forms the, from there you have the beginning of the efferent ductules around 10 to 12, and from there you have the formation of the what is that? Head of the epididymis, and then continues down as the body, and then forms the tail, which is continuous with the vas deferens. Clear? So that is about the what is that? About the testis, and as well as about the epididymis. So here actually even you find a sinus, the cavity between the parietal and the visceral layer, that is called the sinus of the testis. I will show you the model. So the sinus of the testis, and even the location of your, as I said, the epididymis, the posterior lateral side, So that defines the side of the testis. I will explain it when we go to the models. Okay. So that is about the testis, and the blood supply, as said, from the testicular artery, this is from the abdominal aorta, runs through the deep ring and comes through the superficial inguinal ring and forms the content of the spermatic cord and then supplies the scrotum. Whereas venous drainage, from the testis you have the beginning of multiple testicular veins. They form plexus around these structures of the spermatic cord. We call it the pampiniform plexus, and then runs upwards as single vein. From these all plexus, one single vein is formed, that is called the testicular vein. The left side it drains into left renal vein, whereas right side drains into inferior vena cava. As the left testicular vein is draining into the left renal vein, if we observe the scrotums, the level both right and left side appears slightly down compared to the right, because of this reason. Why? The left drains into the left renal vein, as it's a little lower level, it sags down compared to the right. Clear? The reason why left testis is slightly down compared to right testis. What is the reason? Because the left testicular vein drains into left renal vein. Okay. So that's all about that. Then the Dexter's difference, as all that is your as said, as it begins from the tail of the epididymis at the inferior pole of the testis, and then runs upwards.
It's a completion. It completes the epididymis.
Yeah.
It completes the epididymis or not?
Completes means?
So the tail of the epididymis.
Join same. It's a single duct only. We are naming it different way. Okay. The same duct, like your artery here. Here we call it as axillary artery. Here we call it as brachial artery. It is actually the continuation, same tube. It is also the same tube right from the epididymis. So after the inferior pole, we call it as the vas deferens, which runs upwards. A single duct forms the content of your spermatic cord. Okay, and then passes through the superficial ring, then deep ring, and runs along the lateral wall of the pelvis. See here, lateral wall of the pelvis, and then crosses the ureter. This is crossing the ureter, goes to the base of the urinary bladder, runs inferiorly and medially. Medially alongside the seminal vesicle. These are the seminal vesicles. Okay, alongside the seminal vesicle, and fuses with the duct of the seminal vesicle to form the ejaculatory duct, which pierces the prostate. This is the prostate. This is the
Can you see
prostate.
the Can you see the
This is the prostate. This is what is the seminal vesicle. Okay. Lateral wall of the pelvis, crossing the ureter, then running on the base of the urinary bladder, inferior, medially. This is the seminal vesicle, fuses with the duct of the seminal vesicle, forming the ejaculatory duct which pierces the prostate, okay, and opens into the prostatic urethra. Prostatic urethra, you can see it here. So this is the prostate. This is the cut section, okay. So this is the prostate. This is the neck of the bladder. Urethra is running down. This is what is the prostatic urethra. And this is what is the ejaculatory duct. Okay? Ejaculatory duct coming and opening into the prostatic urethra. Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay.
the first difference? After that, it becomes the seminal vesicle.
No, seminal vesicle is a separate structure. This here, this is the duct. This is seminal vesicle is an accessory gland. The duct of the gland and this seminal vesicle. What is that? Sorry, vast difference.
What's the difference?
They join. They join. Did you understand? There are two different. Vas difference is different. Seminal vesicle is different. The duct of this seminal vesicle comes out and joins with the vas difference to form a single duct that is called as the ejaculatory duct. That is called as the ejaculatory duct, which pierces through the prostate and then opens into prostatic urethra. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So that is about the vas difference. And then about few points about the seminal vesicle. As I said, it is present at the base of the urinary bladder. It's a lobulated structure. It's an accessory gland for the male reproductive organs. So the duct of which joins with the, see, this is separate and this is separate. Joins with the vas difference to form the ejaculatory duct. So now the prostate, as I said, it's also an again accessory gland for the female reproductive system, which secretes prostaglandins and all. You will learn about much its function in your histology classes. Okay. So prostatic gland present between, you can see it very clearly here. See here, this is the urinary bladder, and this is what is the urogenital diaphragm. Between the diaphragm and the urinary bladder, you have the situation of the prostate. But this is all the levator ani muscle, which forms the pelvic diaphragm.
Yeah.
Okay. The lateral relation is the pelvic diaphragm. Okay. So then superiorly you have urinary bladder, and then anteriorly. So what is this anteriorly? Pubic symphysis. You can see it here. Yeah. So this is what is the urinary bladder. Okay. This is the prostate. Prostatic gland. This is the pubic symphysis, right? Anteriorly pubic symphysis. Posteriorly rectum. Superiorly urinary bladder. Inferiorly you have the urogenital diaphragm. Laterally the pelvic diaphragm. In this case you can see. Clear? So that is the relations of the prostatic gland. If you take cut section and observe, you find different lobes like two lateral lobes. Okay, because of the presence of the ejaculatory duct and the prostatic urethra, the glandular substance is divided into lobes. So it's a single. As we have the passage of the ducts, two ducts, one urethra and one ejaculatory duct. So it divides into different lobes like two lateral lobes, one middle lobe, one anterior and one posterior. Clear? So these are the lobes of the prostate. Anterior, posterior, two lateral and one middle. So these are the 5 lobes of the prostate. So this prostate consists of, I already learned it in histology. Histology is over. Prostatic gland?
No.
Not yet? Okay. It consists of fibrous tissue as well as the glandular tissue. Okay. So as I was talking about the clinical importance of this prostate, so it usually goes for hypertrophy when a man attains certain age, maybe after 40 years. When he's grown old, always, especially the middle lobe. Which lobe? Middle lobe of the prostate goes for hypertrophy. Then condition is called as benign hypertrophy of the prostate. The blood supply, as it is between the bladder and then you have the rectum, the vessels which supply the rectum and urinary bladder will also supply the prostate. That is the inferior vesical vessels, the rectal vessels, okay, and even some branches from the iliac arteries also, they supply the prostatic gland, especially the pudendal artery. Okay. So then the venous drainage, here it is very important. As I said, it is a gland which is covered by 2 capsules, true capsule and false capsule. Here the venous plexus, prostatic venous plexus, very important. Prostatic venous plexus lie between the 2 capsules, whereas when you compare the same with the thyroid gland, where it also having two capsules, the true and false capsule, whereas in the thyroid gland, the venous plexus lie deep to both the capsules. Deep to both the capsules, whereas prostatic venous plexus lie between the capsules. Okay, the important difference between the presence of venous plexuses in thyroid and prostatic gland. Okay,
Between capsule and thyroid.
yeah,
Within.
venous plexus. Clear? So that is about the prostatic gland, and even that completes the organs of your the male what is that genital organs. Okay, so just we'll go to the table and then just revise what you studied till now. Just bring that model. The penis. Is there any other model? It's okay. It's very clear here in this model. So I was talking you about the proximal part. See here, it's very clear from here. Okay, give me a pen also. So this is the left crura of the penis. That is the right crura of the penis, which are continuous dorsalis. Here, this is continuous like this, as the corpora cavernosa. Okay. Similarly, this also is continuous with corpora cavernosa. Whereas central, this is dilated, right? This is called the bulb of the penis. This is continuous ventrally with the corpus spongiosum. These two are separate. So here you can see it. This is corpus spongiosum. This is corpus cavernosa. Clear? With clear demarcation between that. Okay. So this is corpus spongiosum is continuous with the glans. This is the glans penis, which is the continuation of spongiosum, not the cavernosa. Corpus cavernosa, both they fuse distally. Okay. So just check whether it can. It's very hard. Okay, you can separate it. Okay. As it is, they are hardened. It's difficult. So this glans belongs to spongiosum. So these two corpora cavernosa, as you come towards here, see they are fused. Here they are very separate. Okay. As you come down, they are fused. Okay. They fuse. Whereas spongiosum is on the ventral side, it forms the dilation that is called the glans penis, which shows the presence of urethra. This is the external urethral meatus. External urethral meatus. Okay, this is what the glans penis, and this rim, what I said as the corona. Okay, this rim, glans penis. This is the corona. So whereas here you can see the frenulum, which is attaching the glans with the shaft. Glans with the shaft. The foreskin is taken out here. Okay, the foreskin which will be covering the glans. So that is about the penis. Any doubts in this? Penis? Okay. So then you have the, what is that? Testis?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. There are two testes. So this is the testis. So this is what is the tunica vaginalis covering. Okay. So this is what is the, see here, this is the epididymis. What is this? Actually they are flattened. They are not much in a proper position. This is what is the spermatic cord, okay, containing all the structures what I explained. So like testicular, this is the artery inside. See, the vast difference will be very difficult. So this is the superior pole and this is the inferior pole. Okay, this is superior pole and this is the inferior pole. So this is what is I was talking you about the sinus. See, inside there is a gap.
Yeah.
Okay, that is called the sinus of the epididymis. This is on the lateral side, posterior lateral side. So which side it is? It is the left side. Sorry, this is the right side. So here this is on the posterior lateral side. Okay, so this is the medial side. Superior pole, inferior pole.
How can we distinguish the doctor?
Again, doctor.
So this epididymis,
Okay.
posterior lateral. Lateral means outside. Okay. So here this is the medial side. We cannot separate the medial side. So this, if this is medial and this is lateral, so which side it belongs? The right side. Similarly with the other. Yeah, this one. This is not much clear. So this is medial side. Again you can see it here inside the epididymis. See here. This is what is the sinus which goes deep. So this is not much clear. This is. This is not clear actually. The layers are not yet separated from this. You forget about this. So this is the, see here, this is what is the spermatic cord. So only what you see here is the vas deferens. This is the vas deferens.
Okay.
So only the vas deferens. This is spermatic cord containing the other structures. Here they have cut to show you only the vas deferens. This is the testis. Okay. The superior pole and then the inferior pole. So it is showing. See here. This is the posterior lateral side. So the superior pole, inferior pole. Okay. So this is what is the sinus. See here.
Is it the left one?
You can see it. This is very hard. See this gap. You can see that.
So is it the right one or left one, doctor? Left.
The posterior lateral side. So which side? It's
Left.
just see it.
I think left.
This side. So yeah, posterior lateral side. This is the right one. Okay. Because this is on the see when I leave it, it is lying this posterior lateral side. Clear?
Right one.
So you look for this location of the epididymis. How can you see? If you do like this, what happens? Is it coming on the posterior lateral side?
No.
See here.
Become anterior.
Yeah. So this should be epididymis. What I am saying, it should be on the lateral side, including the sinus. So it should be on the lateral side. If you hold it on the medial
The
side,
right one, yeah.
it doesn't. It doesn't suit. It becomes medial. So now I say it is right. You show me it as how left, then you will understand. How you say it as left? You have to look for posterior lateral side. Posterior lateral. It should be on the posterior side and lateral side. Yeah. So this is what the vas deferens clearly. Look here. This is that vas deferens. Okay, going and then crossing the ureter. See here. This is the ureter, and then. So these are the.
These are kidneys.
So this is the seminal vesicle. See there? Did you find? These are the seminal vesicles. See this? From here it is clear. So this is the vas deferens and this is the seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle. So see the duct, the relation of the duct with the seminal vesicles. After later, this duct of this gland and the duct vas deferens or the ductus deferens, they fuse to form running here in this prostate gland, forming the ejaculatory duct. So this was the prostate gland. Prostate gland. Okay, you can see the conical structure. See here?
Where is it?
This is the prostate. Conical structure, inverted cone shape you can say. Okay? So center of which you have the urethra. That is the prostatic urethra. So this ejaculatory duct, you can see it here. So this is the prostate. This is the urethra. Okay? The prostatic urethra, and then this is the ejaculatory duct coming and then joining the prostatic urethra. Okay? So this is the what is that? Model cut section of the pelvis showing all you.
Prostate, yeah.
This is the prostate. So all is the prostate. They may mark this. They may ask you identify what is the marked structure or pinned structure. This is a prostatic gland. What are its lobes? What is it present in it? What lobe goes for BHP? Any questions made like what is its blood supply? Location of prostatic venous plexus. So or they may mark this testis or they may mark anything. Okay? So anything you want else? See here even in this model also. See this is what is the urinary bladder. Okay? So this is the vas deferens I explained.
Okay.
Okay, this is the ureter. This is the seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle. Okay, urinary bladder. And this is what is the prostate.
Where is it exactly, prostate, doctor?
This is the prostate.
Okay. They look like each other.
Yeah, prostate. Which one? Which one you consider? This itself is a prostate.
Yeah.
So this is the rectum. This is rectum. See the relation. Posteriorly the rectum. Anteriorly this is what is this? Bone this is. Pubic symphysis. So rectum, pubic symphysis. Above bladder. Down the diaphragm. Urogenital diaphragm. So this is pelvic cavity. Whereas this is perineum. So where you have the anal opening. Okay. This is perineum. So this diaphragm separates the perineum from the pelvis. That is the urogenital diaphragm. Between the two pubic arches like this. Okay. The triangle is the urogenital diaphragm. Whereas down this is the pelvic diaphragm. Did you understand the difference? Pelvic diaphragm and urogenital diaphragm. You bring me the pelvis, I will show you.
Exactly.
Between the two pubic bones.
That is the urogenital diaphragm.
Between the two pubic bones. بارك هذا هو.
Pelvis.
هذا هو على اليسار هذا هو.
Or any bony pelvis from there.
لا هذه بارك. هنا قدام.
And even I didn't show you the pituitary gland models, right? Did I show you?
No, didn't show us.
Yeah, I will show you.
No?
Okay. So this what? Between the two pubic arch, here this forms the urogenital diaphragm.
Where is it exactly? Wait.
This one only. This urogenital diaphragm. Okay. So which is widely open in case of females.
Okay.
Whereas in males, as there is no vagina, it will be full. Okay. So and this is the pelvic diaphragm.
Okay.
Clear? This is pelvic diaphragm, and between the two pubic bones is the urogenital diaphragm. The prostatic gland is here exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
The urogenital diaphragm. Please be relations.
Relations here. This is the prostatic gland. Posteriorly the rectum.
بارك.
Anteriorly the pubic symphysis. Okay. Above you have the urinary bladder. Down you have the urogenital diaphragm. And sides, these muscles, the pelvic diaphragm muscles, levator ani muscles, they form the. Where is that other model? Where is that? Okay, it's there on the lateral side. And this is what forms the urogenital diaphragm. Okay. So this is the posteriorly, even the rectum is not here. So this opening you can say. Rectum. So here is the rectum. Anteriorly the pubic symphysis. Above.
bladder. Doctor, what is
This is what is the vas deferens and this is the seminal vesicle. E is seminal vesicle.
Anal opening.
This is the vas deferens. This is the ureter. So these structures are there between rectum and urinary bladder. See. The rectum, one more specimen here. So this is the urinary bladder. This is the rectum. Between them you find the seminal vesicles, these ducts, and then the prostate gland. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the urethra. This is the
Vas deferens.
vas deferens. And this is
Seminal
the
vesicle.
Did
Yeah.
when urethra? What is the urethra?
هذه urethra.
Ureter, not urethra.
Urethra.
Ureter.
هذا؟
وين هنا؟
أشرح لي.
هذا اليوريثرا.
See the crossing of the vas deferens with the ureter. Clear?
خلاص.
Yeah, I will show you the pituitary model.
التكريم بالله بس شوي.
Pituitary nothing. You must identify the sella turcica.
دكتور.
You already know it. Sella